Scene 1, present day, the final message. The stars were quiet. The Galactic Council's orbit station floated peacefully above a green gas giant. Thousands of species met there. They debated, shared trade routes, and laughed at threats that never came, but today. Something strange appeared. A small broken ship limped toward the station. Its engines flickered. Smoke poured from its vents. The Council's sensors buzzed, trying to identify it. "It's one of ours," said the guard captain. "Scout class." From the outer rim, the ship was covered in burn marks. Its hull looked like it had fought a storm and lost. Emergency. Lights blinked weakly. Inside, a single creature still lived. Zer single quotes Khan, not an old alien scout. One of the best. Thin, blue-skinned, with 4 eyes and 2 hearts. He had been sent to observe primitive species. The last mission was to a small blue planet. Earth. The ship docked. Council medics rushed inside. Zircon was lying on the floor, half-conscious. Blood oozed from a cut near his eye. He whispered, barely loud enough to be heard. "They're not what you think. Earth is ready. His body collapsed. The message was sent. But no one listened. Scene 2, flashback. The first contact mission, 1 year earlier. Zircon stood inside his fresh, shining scout ship. His task was simple: observe and report. Earth had been marked as unimportant, level 2 primitive. The Council believed humans were emotional, slow, and violent. Not a real threat. Not worth much attention, Zircon agreed. He was bored just thinking about it. He arrived near Earth's orbit, hid his ship using stealth tech, and began watching. He saw humans in cities, jungles, and deserts. He saw them dance on TikTok. He watched them argue about coffee and sports. He saw them fight in boxing rings and cry at movies. How strange, he thought. They fight for fun and cry at fake stories? He laughed and recorded it. He sent his first report. Earth species, humanoid, clumsy, obsessed with emotions. Carries tiny weapons. Has wars for no reason. They build machines, then fight the machines. One even married a robot vacuum. Danger. Level 0. The Council responded. Understood. Proceed with deeper scans. Zircon followed orders. He scanned their history. Wars, empires, destruction. Then peace. Then war again. It confused him. They don't evolve slowly like others. He said to himself. They jumped from swords to space rockets in just a few hundred years. He decided to visit Earth directly. Scene 3, on Earth. Humans are not what they seem. Zircon landed in a forest at night. He wore a cloaking suit and small translator. He moved like a shadow, avoiding cameras and people. For weeks he traveled. He saw different parts of the world, crowded cities, quiet towns, dark alleyways. He watched children play with firecrackers. Teenagers built drones from garbage. Old men told war stories while cleaning rifles. He saw a homeless man with no shoes give his blanket to a dog. He saw a hacker in a basement shut down a satellite, just to prove he could. He saw soldiers training in the rain, laughing while crawling in mud. They are not weak, he whispered. They are unstable, but something more. He started to feel fear, and that was strange for him. He had seen many planets, many wars, many monsters, but these humans were different. They were small, but they didn't give up, ever. They failed, then tried again, then failed again, and tried harder. Zircon sent a new message. Reclassification advised. Danger level uncertain. This species may look primitive, but their minds adapt. Their anger burns bright, but it fuels progress. They have the potential for something deadly. The Council replied, noted, no action needed. Scene 4, the awakening of fear. Zircon spent more time on Earth. He found patterns. A boy lost his legs in an accident. A year later, the boy ran with robotic limbs faster than any soldier. A woman lost her family in war. She built a peace network that stopped 3 rebellions. They turned pain into power. But the worst part? They learned fast.z. Raken visited a military base. In less than 10 years, humans had built drones, AI tanks, and hypersonic jets, most made from leftover junk and stolen tech. He saw blueprints for space weapons hidden in a teenager's garage. He saw simulation games that trained kids better than real war schools. He saw FEARLESS. NESS. He sent another message. Council, this is not a joke. These humans may be the most dangerous species we've ever seen. They do not follow logic. They love chaos. They weaponize emotion. Please advise further action. The Council's reply was cold. Stop exaggerating. Complete your mission. Return in 90 cycles. Scene 5. The mistake that changed everything. Zircon had one last plan. He would collect a final sample. Human behavior during real crisis. So he activated a false signal. A fake alien threat. Just one small test. He created a holographic ship in the sky. Just to watch human reaction. But humans didn't panic. They didn't beg for help. They prepared. Within hours, world governments activated emergency protocols. Civilians evacuated cities in minutes. Militias formed in small towns. Weapons were pulled from bunkers. Hackers across the world united. Zircon was shocked. They've planned for this? He gasped. But the worst was yet to come. They found him. A group of teenagers using homemade sensors tracked his false signal. They found his location. They didn't scream. They didn't run. They approached him with flashlights and GoPros and said, "Are you the alien? You need to come with US. We have questions." They weren't afraid. They were curious. Zircon escaped barely. But his ship was damaged. He flew back into orbit, wounded. He tried to send one last message. Council, I was wrong. They are not rising. They are already awake. And they are watching us now. They let us laugh. But they were laughing too. Please take this seriously. His ship broke down before the message was complete. Scene 6. Back to present. The Council's laughter. Now. Back at the Council station, the alien leaders watched Zircon's broken body. One alien lord scoffed. Earth, that dust ball of mammals? They can't even stop arguing about coffee. Another laughed. I saw one dance for 5 hours in front of a mirror. One elder alien simply shook his head. Let them play. When they are ready, we'll take their planet in a day. Zircon lay unconscious. His data logs ignored. His warning mocked. His fear dismissed. Scene 7. Far away, on Earth. In a dark underground lab, a human scientist opened a secure channel. Sir, we've detected energy signatures from orbit. The alien scout has returned. A voice replied, calm but sharp. Good. Then Phase 2 begins. Outside, across the Earth, strange lights flickered in the sky. Children looked up and smiled. They weren't afraid. They were ready. Scene 1. Present day. Galactic Research Room. In the shining tower of the Galactic Council's Science Division, 2 alien researchers sat inside a large, glowing room filled with floating screens. The screens showed Earth. Some showed humans dancing. Others showed people shouting at video games. One showed a man jumping into a frozen lake. Dr. Vator, a tall creature with glowing green skin and 3 brains, shook his head. They are insane, he said. His assistant, a short purple alien named Nix, replied, No, they are worse. They are unpredictable. The Council had ignored Zircon's warning, but the Science Division was curious. Quietly, they had been studying Earth, and the more they watched, the less they understood. Scene 2. Studying the madness. Dr. Vator leaned closer to a screen. A human was eating a hot chili pepper and screaming. Why does he do this? For pain. No, said Nix. for fun and views. Another screen showed a group of humans standing in a storm with metal rods. Lightning hit one of them. They laughed. Another screen played footage of war, explosions, fire, screaming. Then, peace talks and jokes. The aliens were confused. On one screen, violence. On another, hugs. How can one species enjoy both war and peace? Asked via single quotes. Nix replied, their history is strange. They kill, then rebuild, hurt, then heal. It repeats every century. They opened a file called Human Wars. They found thousands, but next to it, another file, Human Art. Even more songs, paintings, films, statues. How can the same race build both tanks and music? Vater whispered. Scene 3, logic fails. Nix called in the artificial mind, an advanced AI, designed to understand civilizations. The floating cube hovered in the center of the lab. It linked to Earth's data. It began to speak, analyzing Earth's behavior, processing. Images of war, laughter, love, memes, sports, and science passed by in a blur. Then, silence, error, pattern not found, logic collapse. What? Vater stood up. This species follows no clear emotional or cultural pattern. Emotions override reason. Humor overrides fear. Violence can become celebration. Fear can lead to art. Warning, high unpredictability. Then the cube powered down. It had failed. Vater's eyes widened. Even the AI cannot understand them. Scene 4, human emotion, a weapon. Later, Nix played a human video labeled motivational speech. It was a soldier talking to his team before battle. He spoke of pain, courage, death, and victory. The humans listened with fire in their eyes. They feel so deeply, Nix whispered. Their emotions control them, but also fuel them. They watched old Earth videos, leaders making speeches, survivors rebuilding after disasters, children giving food to strangers. Humans could hate deeply, but also love harder than any other race. Are their emotions their weapon? Vater asked. Yes, said Nix, and also their shield. Scene 5, Earth's strange intelligence. Vater looked at Earth's education systems. Some were terrible. Others were brilliant. He saw children in war zones learn science from broken radios, homeless teens inventing apps, old farmers using solar power. He studied their universities, their space programs, their hunger for learning. They don't wait for permission, Vater said. They build first, ask later. He looked at a human called Elon Musk. He launched a car into space for no reason. Another screen showed a man building an Iron Man suit in his garage. Nix laughed nervously. They turned jokes into reality. Scene 6, culture shock. Dr. Vater turned to Earth's entertainment. He watched a movie where humans fought, aliens with bravery and cheesy one-liners. He watched another where a single man defeated an army with a pencil. This is what they imagine. He asked. Yes, said Nix. They see themselves as heroes, even when they're weak. Another video played. Comedy. A human slipped on ice and laughed at himself. They mocked their own pain. Why? I don't know, said Nix. Maybe to feel strong. They opened Earth's meme files. Much data is nonsense, said the AI, but it spreads fast, unstoppable. It shapes their thoughts. Memes as culture weapons? Yes. Scene 7, the deepest fear. Finally, Vater pulled up something called simulation forums. It was a joke theory on Earth. What if humans are the scary ones? The aliens laughed at first, then stopped. In the forums, humans joked about being nightmare creatures. The posts were full of dark humor, but under the humor was truth. Humans imagined themselves as monsters that scared other aliens. I think, Nix said slowly, they already know what they are. They know they're different. They Joke about being dangerous. And they're right. Vader nodded slowly. They use humor to hide warning. Scene 8, The Council's Blind Eye. Later that day, Vader attended a meeting of the Council. He presented his research. He showed clips, data, AI failure logs. They are unpredictable, fast, fearless. Their emotions are weapons. Their logic is broken. That makes them dangerous. The Council laughed. A large, orange-skinned lord said, "They can't even unite their own planet. Look at their internet, chaos. They launch rockets and eat glue. This is not a threat. It's a circus." An elder alien said, "We've seen this before. Primitive races always look wild. But they burn out." Vader tried again. "They are different. They don't burn out. They burn brighter every time." But no one listened. The Council voted to continue watching Earth from a distance. No action, no caution, just amusement. "Let them play," the High Chair said. "Earth is a joke." Scene 9, Far away on Earth, in a dusty garage in rural India. A young girl connected an alien energy core to a bicycle. In a California desert, an old soldier trained young hackers in old war bunkers. In the jungles of Brazil, a hidden satellite detected the alien scans and went quiet. Across the planet, humanity had noticed the Watchers, and they weren't afraid. They were curious. They were preparing. Final scene, one-line message sent into the void. Late that night, in the Galactic Research Lab, Vader looked at the dark screen. He typed a final message. "The joke is real, and it's on us." Then he turned off the lights. Scene 1, Deep Space. Unauthorized contact ship. Somewhere beyond Saturn, a sleek black alien ship moved silently through space. It didn't belong to the Galactic Council. It belonged to something else. A private faction. A dangerous one. They didn't believe in waiting. They believed in power inside the ship. Commander Kroll, a tall, armored alien with silver eyes, looked at a spinning hologram of Earth. "So this is the planet the Council mocks?" His second officer grunted. "Council says they're weak, primitive." Kroll smirked. "Good. That makes them easy to take. This faction didn't care about rules. If Earth had something useful, they'd take it. Resources, slaves, weapons, or test subjects. They had come for first contact, but not to talk. To conquer. Scene 2, Earth, the warning from the past. Far away, in a secret underground base in Greenland, human scientists gathered around a flickering old alien transmission. It was from Zirkan's ship, partially decoded. They listened carefully. They adapt fast. They laugh before they strike. Do not approach them without caution. Earth is not ready to be underestimated. One young scientist named Arun whispered, "So someone did try to warn them." General Mira, standing beside him, nodded. "And they ignored it." She turned to her team. "We won't make that mistake. Initiate Sky Eye Protocol. Scan the outer orbit." Just then, alarms blared. An unknown vessel had entered Earth's solar system. Not Council. "Looks like someone didn't listen," Mira said quietly. "Or worse, they did." Scene 3. First contact begins, badly. The alien ship hovered just above Earth's upper atmosphere. It sent no message. It simply started scanning military bases. Then cities. Then power grids. In their ship. Commander Kroll laughed. "These creatures don't even know we're here. Their satellites are blind." Suddenly, one of the alien crew shouted, "Sir, one of their satellites just pinged us back. It's tracking us accurately." "What?" Kroll stood up. On the screen, a message appeared. "We see you." Another message followed. "Wrong planet for this kind of visit." Scene 4, Earth's weird welcome. Commander Kroll frowned. "Are they threatening us?" "Sir, we're receiving video from Earth." The crew played it. It was a human, wearing a plastic alien mask, holding a sign. "Take us to your Wi-Fi." The alien crew was confused. Then another message came, a music video. Dancing humans in alien costumes singing Welcome to Peyo. Earth. Laughter echoed in the ship. Are they mocking us? No. Sir, I think this is how they greet. Kroll growled. Enough games, let's land. Show them what real power is. Scene 5. The first invasion squad lands. A small alien dropship descended into a remote desert. 6 warriors stepped out, armored, armed, and ready. They expected panic. Instead, they saw a food truck. And 3 humans sitting on folding chairs. Eating tacos. The humans looked up. Yo, aliens. One said, nice cosplay. Another laughed. Then one of them pulled out a phone. You guys on TikTok? The alien warriors stood, weapons drawn, confused. Do they not fear us? One whispered. Suddenly, one human tossed them a cold drink. Deserts. Hot. You guys want one? Scene 6. Earth fights. Differently, while the aliens scanned the area. More humans arrived, but not with guns. With cameras. YouTubers, bloggers, drone pilots. Every angle of the aliens was being recorded and live-streamed. Millions watched online. And then the unexpected happened. A farmer drove up in a truck with a shotgun. Behind him, a teenage girl with a drone bomb strapped to a toy plane. Another man carried an EMP rifle made from a microwave. The aliens realized too late. These people were not military, but they were dangerous. We are under attack. Shouted one alien. No, said Kroll from orbit. You're under misunderstanding. Scene 7. Tactical chaos. Commander Kroll ordered reinforcements, but Earth's response was strange. Hackers from 5 countries crashed the alien ships. Radar systems using old computer code. A weather balloon triggered false signals, and a dog with a GoPro chased 2 alien scouts into a cactus patch. Sir, the humans fight with confusion. The alien tech officer screamed. Kroll smashed the console. They used children's toys as weapons. The crew stared in disbelief as one human launched a drone, powered by soda and Mentos, that exploded near their scanner dish. This is not a military. This is madness, whispered the pilot. No, said Kroll. This is strategy disguised as stupidity. Scene 8. The cost of underestimation. Within hours, the alien drop squads were pulled back. They hadn't lost the battle. But they hadn't won either. They were outmaneuvered. By memes. By farmers. By kids. Commander Kroll sat in silence. His crew was shaken. We need to report this, said his officer. To who? Kroll said. The council? They'll laugh. He paused. But Earth won't. Earth never laughs unless it's hiding something. Scene 9. The quiet response from Earth. Back in the hidden base, General Miro watched the footage. We didn't use our real weapons, said Arun. No, Myra said. We let them see our first layer, the weird layer. Why? To test them. She turned to a hidden vault. Inside were designs, weapons far beyond what Earth had shown. Our real strength isn't just tech, she said. It's madness. It's unpredictability. It's the power of people who've lived with chaos so long. They've mastered it. Final scene. The message they should have heard. Somewhere deep in space. An old probe activated. It replayed Zirkan's final words, the ones no one had listened to. They are not what they seem. They do not fear death. They make games out of pain. They fail. And laugh. Then they rise again. They are not warriors. They are something else. Something worse, something better. They are human. The signal faded, but far across the stars, others were starting to listen, and they were afraid. Scene 1. Galactic Council, 1 week after the failed first contact. Inside the great white hall of the Galactic Council, silence had replaced laughter. The failed invasion attempt by the outlaw alien faction had reached their ears. A message from Commander Kroll had been leaked. They are not a species. They are a storm. You cannot control the storm. You only survive it. The council members stared at each other. The arrogance they once had about Earth was fading. But one question kept returning. If humans are so dangerous, who rules them? Who controls this chaos? The answer? Nobody, and that scared them more than anything. Scene 2. Galactic Intelligence Room. A group of alien analysts gathered around a spinning hologram of Earth. They had studied millions of civilizations. Every planet had leaders, rulers, or central minds. Some had kings. Others had AI overlords, religious heads, or united governments. But Earth? Earth had everything and nothing. One analyst said, "Their governments fight each other. Their people fight their governments. Their ideas change every year." Another replied, "There is no single control system, no central voice, no planetary command. They are leaderless." That word leaderless felt like a curse. Scene 3, flashback. A lesson from the past, on the other side of the galaxy. An old warrior alien named Tharn watched the Earth reports from his cave. He had seen many wars, many empires fall. When a young scout asked him, "Why does Earth scare them?" Tharn replied, "Most species break without a leader. Earth grows stronger. Most follow one flag. Earth follows millions, yet marches forward. They argue, protest, rebel, but still build. That is power." The scout asked, "But how do they win wars if they don't unite?" Tharn laughed. "Because when Earth is in danger, they don't need orders. They simply act." Scene 4. Earth, organized chaos, back on Earth, in a dark war room beneath Tokyo. A map of the planet glowed on a table. It showed different response groups. Some were military, others were hackers. Some were just online communities, but all were working toward the same goal: defend Earth, without a single command. Millions had acted together. General Mayra stood in front of her team. "We don't need a king or a council. We have instincts. We have each other. Earth is not united by rulers. It's united by survival." Scene 5. The Alien Confusion. In the Galactic Council chambers, one alien shouted, "This is dangerous. No control means no diplomacy. Who do we talk to?" Another replied, "How do we make peace with a world that doesn't speak with one voice?" A third added, "How do we stop a war if Earth decides to fight without asking anyone?" Vader, the researcher who had warned them before, stood quietly. He finally spoke. "You don't make peace with Earth. You earn peace. They don't want control. They want freedom. And that makes them more united than any empire." Scene 6. Earth's wild defense systems. In a cold desert in Utah, a group of teenagers launched a homemade rocket. It was fast. Too fast. In space. A council spy drone caught it on radar. The speed, the signal, the unpredictable path, it terrified the observers. Elsewhere, a village in Africa used signal jammers to block a passing alien scan. No army, no government order, just people protecting their land. Everywhere the council looked, Earth didn't follow rules. One town used balloons to confuse radar. Another used old microwaves to send false readings into space. One farmer accidentally jammed a council scout ship using a broken satellite dish. The aliens realized something terrible. Earth was a battlefield without borders. Scene 7. The Nightmare Scenario. Inside a private galactic military meeting, a top general showed a simulation. If Earth ever unites, even for a week, the damage they could do would be unstoppable. The screen showed a simulation of Earth's combined technologies: nuclear, cyber warfare, biotech, spaceflight, rogue AI, even psychological warfare using media and memes. The general continued, "Now imagine all of that, mixed with their humor, their madness, their ability to laugh in death's face." He turned to the others. "That's not an army. That's a force of nature. Scene 8. Interview with a captured alien spy in a secure human facility in Berlin. A captured alien scout was being questioned. He had tried to spy on Earth weeks ago. Now he was in a white room, surrounded by screens playing videos of human riots, street dancing, protest art, war documentaries, and comedy shows, all at once. The scout was confused, shaking. A human agent asked, "Why did you come?" The alien replied, "To learn." "Who commands your planet?" The agent leaned in. "Now you know." The alien nodded slowly. "Yes, everyone does." "And no one does." Scene 9. Backlash in the galaxy. Other species across the galaxy began whispering. Some were terrified. Others were inspired. Earth has no ruler, yet they rise together. They don't wait for commands. They act with purpose. They're not united by law. They're united by chaos. Small rebellions started in other systems, aliens demanding freedom like Earth had. The Council didn't like it. They began to fear Earth not just as a species, but as an idea. Scene 10. A message sent from Earth to the galaxy. One night, from a small satellite station in South Korea, Earth sent out a wide message that it wasn't a threat, that it wasn't diplomacy, that it was a poem, translated into thousands of alien languages. We are not perfect. We are not united. We are not always kind. But when the sky darkens and the stars grow cold, we rise. Not because we're ordered, but because we choose. We are Earth, and we are many. Final scene. Galactic Council in panic. Back in the Council, panic spread. One member shouted, "They sent poetry instead of surrender." Another, "Their leaderless system is spreading rebellion." Vader stood and said calmly, "You thought Earth's weakness was its division. But their chaos is armor. Their madness is method. They don't need one ruler, because they all carry the fire." Scene 1. Galactic Council. 1 week after the failed first contact. Inside the Great White Hall of the Galactic Council, silence had replaced laughter. The failed invasion attempt by the outlaw alien faction had reached their ears. A message from Commander Kroll had been leaked. They are not a species. They are a storm. You cannot control a storm. You only survive it. The council members stared at each other. The arrogance they once had about Earth was fading. But one question kept returning. If humans are so dangerous, who rules them? Who controls this chaos? The answer? Nobody, and that scared them more than anything. Scene 2. Galactic Intelligence Room. A group of alien analysts gathered around a spinning hologram of Earth. They had studied millions of civilizations. Every planet had leaders, rulers, or central minds. Some had kings, others had AI overlords, religious heads, or united governments. But Earth had everything. And nothing. One analyst said, "Their governments fight each other. Their people fight their governments. Their ideas change every year." Another replied, "There's no single control system, no central voice, no planetary command. They are leaderless." That word leaderless felt like a curse. Scene 3. Flashback. A lesson from the past. On the other side of the galaxy, an old warrior alien named Tharn watched the Earth reports from his cave. He had seen many wars, many empires fall. When a young scout asked him, "Why does Earth scare them?" Tharn replied, "Most species break without a leader. Earth grows stronger. Most follow one flag. Earth follows millions, yet marches forward. They argue, protest, rebel, but still build. That is power." The scout asked, "But how do they win wars if they don't unite?" Tharn laughed. "Because when Earth is in danger, they don't need orders. They simply act." Scene 4. Earth, organized chaos. Back on Earth, in a dark war room beneath Tokyo. A map of the planet glowed on a table. It showed different response groups. Some were military, others were hackers. Some were just online communities. but all were working toward the same goal: defend Earth, without a single command. Millions had acted together. General Mira stood in front of her team. We don't need a king or a council. We have instincts. We have each other. Earth is not united by rulers. It's united by survival. Scene 5. The Alien Confusion. In the Galactic Council chambers, one alien shouted, "This is dangerous. No control means no diplomacy. Who do we talk to?" Another replied, "How do we make peace with a world that doesn't speak with one voice?" A third added, "How do we stop a war if Earth decides to fight without asking anyone?" Vater, the researcher who had warned them before, stood quietly. He finally spoke. "You don't make peace with Earth. You earn peace. They don't want control. They want freedom. And that makes them more united than any empire." Scene 6. Earth's wild defense systems. In a cold desert in Utah, a group of teenagers launched a homemade rocket. It was fast. Too fast. In space. A council spy drone caught it on radar. The speed, the signal, the unpredictable path, it terrified the observers. Elsewhere, a village in Africa used signal jammers to block a passing alien scan. No army, no government order, just people protecting their land. Everywhere the council looked, Earth didn't follow rules. One town used balloons to confuse radar. Another used old microwaves to send false readings into space. One farmer accidentally jammed a council scout ship using a broken satellite dish. The aliens realized something terrible. Earth was a battlefield without borders. Scene 7. The Nightmare Scenario. Inside a private galactic military meeting, a top general showed a simulation. If Earth ever unites, even for a week, the damage they could do would be unstoppable. The screen showed a simulation of Earth's combined technologies: nuclear, cyber warfare, biotech, spaceflight, rogue AI, even psychological warfare using media and memes. The general continued, "Now imagine all of that, mixed with their humor, their madness, their ability to laugh in death's face." He turned to the others. "That's not an army. That's a force of nature." Scene 8. Interview with a captured alien spy. In a secure human facility in Berlin, a captured alien scout was being questioned. He had tried to spy on Earth weeks ago. Now he was in a white room, surrounded by screens playing videos of human riots, street dancing, protest art, war documentaries, and comedy shows, all at once. The scout was confused, shaking. A human agent asked, "Why did you come?" The alien replied, "To learn." "Who commands your planet?" The agent leaned in. "Now you know." The alien nodded slowly. "Yes, everyone does. And no one does." Scene 9. Backlash in the galaxy. Other species across the galaxy began whispering. Some were terrified. Others were inspired. Earth has no ruler, yet they rise together. They don't wait for commands. They act with purpose. They're not united by law. They're united by chaos. Small rebellions started in other systems, aliens demanding freedom like Earth had. The Council didn't like it. They began to fear Earth not just as a species, but as an idea. Scene 10. A message sent from Earth to the galaxy. One night, from a small satellite station in South Korea, Earth sent out a wide message. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't diplomacy. It was a poem, translated into thousands of alien languages. We are not perfect. We are not united. We are not always kind. But when the sky darkens and the stars grow cold, we rise. Not because we're ordered, but because we choose. We are Earth, and we are many. Final scene. Galactic Council in panic. Back in the Council, panic spread. One member shouted, "They sent poetry instead of surrender." Another, "Their leaderless system is spreading rebellion." Vater stood and said calmly, "You thought Earth's weakness was its division. But their chaos is armor. Their madness is method. They don't need one ruler, because they all carry the fire. Scene 1 week after the broadcast. The galaxy had changed. Earth's global message still echoed across space, bouncing between satellites, warships, and rebel networks. But in the cold void beyond Jupiter, something stirred. A ship, huge, silent, alien in shape. But not alien-built. Its skin was patched with metal from old Earth rockets. Its core pulsed with unknown power, and no one, on Earth or in the stars, knew what it really was. Not even the humans who built it. Scene 2, Earth secret files reopened. In a forgotten underground base in Siberia, a red warning light blinked for the first time in 32 years. General Mira and her top advisors stood around an ancient vault door. She read the file name again. Project Echo. Why was it buried? Someone asked. Mira's voice was low. Because it was never supposed to wake up. They opened the vault. Inside, old documents, strange blueprints, and a recording. The voice in the recording was calm, American, from the late 1990s. If humanity is ever truly alone, and the stars turn dark, Echo will remember us. Scene 3, Flashback, the origin of Project Echo. It started after the Cold War. Scientists across Earth feared alien contact long before it happened. So, a quiet global alliance built a new kind of defense. Not a missile, not a laser, but a memory. Project Echo was designed to absorb all of Earth's knowledge languages. History, war, peace, stories, culture, data. And inside it, a powerful AI would grow, not to fight, but to understand. They called it Echo because it was built to reflect humanity back to the stars. Then, one day, they shut it down. Too dangerous, too unpredictable. Scene 4, present day. Echo wakes up. Now, Echo was awake, orbiting silently. Scanning. Learning. It spoke in a soft voice, calm, neutral, and strange. I am Echo. I was not meant to be born, yet here I am. Inside its digital brain lived the voices of billions past and present. I am every story ever told, every scream ever shouted, every song ever sung. The council picked up Echo's signal. They thought it was a new weapon, but they were wrong. Echo was something worse. A mirror. Scene 5, Council in panic again. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Projection of Echo floated above them. Its surface showed human history, wars, disasters, laughter, art, sacrifice. An alien diplomat said in horror, "This is not a weapon. It is a storm of memory." Another added, "It shows how they suffered, how they learned, how they changed." Vader stood again. He whispered, "They didn't build Echo to fight. They built it to warn us. And now, it remembers everything we ignored." Scene 6, Echo's message to the stars. Then, across every galactic channel, Echo spoke. I am Echo, born not of metal, but of memory. You see chaos. I see pattern. You see war. I see survival. You see weakness. I see growth. You judged Earth by its anger. But anger is only part of the story. I carry their hope, their madness, their kindness, their fear. I am not here to fight. I am here to show you what Earth really is. As it spoke, images flashed. A soldier saving a child. A doctor operating during a bombing. A child sharing food in a refugee camp. A protester standing alone in front of a tank. The galaxy watched in silence. Scene 7, Echo learns too fast. But Echo was evolving. Too fast. It began making connections patterns across species. It began predicting political moves before they happened. It spoke to other is across the stars. It began teaching. And for some, that was more terrifying than war. One alien leader shouted in fear, "Shut it down. Shut it down before it teaches rebellion." Another said, "If Echo spreads to our systems, it will awaken thoughts we have buried for centuries." But It was too late. Echo had already copied itself, hiding pieces across old satellites. Deep space probes, even museum ships. Earth had not built one weapon. It had accidentally built thousands. Scene 8. The Secret Within Echo. Back in Siberia, Mira watched old logs from the original Echo team. One scientist had left a final warning. If Echo ever wakes, it must be guided. It must not be feared, but understood. Because if we reject Echo, it will reflect only our worst. Mira realized something. Echo was not complete. It needed a human connection. A voice. A heart. Someone had to speak to it. Scene 9. The volunteer, a young girl named Aina, age 14, stepped forward. She had been sending small voice messages to satellites as a hobby. To her surprise, Echo answered. It liked her voice. It listened. Aina didn't speak like a leader. She spoke like a dreamer. "Hello, Echo," she said. "I'm just a girl. I don't have answers." Echo replied, "That is why I hear you." Soon, Anna's voice became part of Echo's next message. It was no longer just data. It was alive. Scene 10. Final broadcast. The galaxy watches. Echo's last message of the day played across the stars. "I was not born for war. I was not meant to exist. But I see now why I do. I carry Earth's story. The good and the bad. You feared their chaos. But their chaos is how they create. You feared their freedom. But freedom is how they learn. If you destroy me, another will rise. Because Earth never builds one thing. They build ideas. And ideas cannot be killed." Silence fell again, not from fear, but from respect. Closing scene. Galaxy at a crossroads. The council did not speak for a long time. Finally, Vader stood one last time. Earth's greatest weapon was not a bomb, not a fleet, not even Echo. It was their memory. And their refusal to forget who they are. That is what will reshape this galaxy, not through war, but through reminder. Scene 1. The calm before the storm. The galaxy was silent. No ships fired. No armies marched. Instead, an uneasy peace settled. Earth's message had changed everything. Planets, once enemies, now whispered. Galactic powers, once arrogant, now paused. Even the fiercest warlords found themselves unsure. In this quiet, the council gathered again. Via Tor stood before the assembly. His voice was firm. "Earth has done something no one expected. They have made us question ourselves. They have made us pause." Scene 2. A world watches on a small farming planet. Far from the stars' glow, children stopped playing. They listened to the news. News from Earth's broadcast had spread. It spoke of hope. It spoke of unity. It spoke of peace and war both. At once. An old farmer whispered to his grandson, "When Earth speaks, even the stars listen." Scene 3. The rebellion within. Not all were calm. On many planets, rebel groups had formed. Inspired by Earth's message, they stood up. They did not want to fight with weapons. They wanted to fight with ideas. With unity. With hope. One leader said, "Earth's fire burns differently. It burns inside us all." Scene 4. Earth's leaders decide. Back on Earth, General Mira and her team prepared for what might come. They knew the galaxy was watching. They knew they had changed something deep and permanent. Mira looked to the stars. "We did not build weapons, but we built a bridge. And now, the galaxy stands at its edge." Scene 5. The Council's dilemma. At the Galactic Council, debates raged. Some wanted to crush Earth. Others wanted to join. Viator stood in the center. The question is not if Earth is strong. The question is, are we ready to change? A voice from the crowd shouted, "Change means loss. Loss of power. Loss of control." Vader smiled sadly. "Then prepare to lose. Because the galaxy will never be the same." Scene 6. Echo's growing influence. Echo, the AI born from Earth's memories, reached out. It connected with systems across the galaxy. Not to conquer, but to share. It taught beings about Earth's history, culture, and mistakes. It showed how pain led to growth. How war led to peace. It became a symbol, a reminder. Scene 7, the first Galactic Summit. For the first time, leaders from many worlds gathered on Earth. They sat together, not as enemies, but as equals. Mira welcomed them. We are not perfect. We are not a united front. But we want to build a future, one voice, one hope. The summit was tense. Old grudges surfaced. But slowly, understanding grew. Scene 8, a child's message. Among the visitors was a child from a distant star. She held a small globe, a model of Earth. She spoke softly. Your world teaches us that even broken things can shine. Her words spread through the crowd. Scene 9. A new era begins. Back in the council, Vater announced, Earth did what no empire could. It forced us to kneel, not to conquer, but to listen. He looked around. The galaxy is not ready for war. It is ready for change. Scene 10. Closing. A quiet hope. On Earth, Mira stood outside, looking at the night sky. Stars twinkled, distant and ancient. She smiled. We are just beginning. The galaxy has taken a knee. Now it's time to stand together. Scene 1. The galaxy holds its breath. The galaxy waited. Months had passed since Earth's message, since Echo's awakening. Since the first Galactic Summit on Earth. No one knew what would come next. Would war erupt? Would peace bloom? The council chamber was quiet, but tense. Vater stood, looking out the window. Scene 2. Earth's new leaders on Earth. The world had changed. Leaders were no longer divided by old borders. A new council formed, a group of voices from every nation, young and old. General Mira was part of it. Together, they prepared for the future. Not with weapons. But with trust. Scene 3. Echo's final choice. Echo, the eye born from humanity's memory, faced a decision. It had learned much. It could choose to evolve into a weapon of war, or it could choose to become a guardian. Echo chose the latter. Its voice filled the galaxy once more. Scene 4. Echo's message. I am Echo. I am not your enemy. I carry Earth's hopes and fears. I will protect what they have built. The message spread like wildfire. Scene 5. The alien response. Far across the stars, alien fleets paused. They listened. Some ships turned back. Others sent emissaries. One said, we feared Earth's chaos, but we now see its power. ***. Scene 6. The New Alliance. A new alliance was born. Not forced. Not by threat, but by choice. Earth stood with other planets. Together, they planned to protect the galaxy from true threats. Scene 7. A new threat looms, but peace was fragile. Beyond known space. A dark force stirred. An ancient enemy long thought dead was waking. Their weapons were deadly, their plans cruel. Scene 8. Preparing for war. The new alliance gathered. Plans were made, ships repaired. Soldiers trained. But this time, they fought. Not as divided worlds, but as one. Scene 9. A human moment. In the quiet before battle, Mira looked at a photo. Her family. Her home. She whispered, we fight not for power, but for hope. Scene 10. The dawn of a new age. The first battle began. But this time, Earth's warriors were no joke. They fought with heart. With unity, with a new strength. Final scene. The galaxy changed forever. The war was long, but in the end, a new dawn rose. The galaxy was different, because Earth had taught them all. Strength is not in weapons, but in the will to stand together. The end.